At first glance, Shawn Ryan's message sounds perfect for the holidays. But listen closely. Can you recognize the fatal flaw?
There's a ton of distractions out there. There's all the negativity that comes out of politics, the Epstein stuff, the USAID stuff. There's all the shiny objects that we're all saving our money to try to afford, and then when we get them, we get bored of them in 2 weeks. Don't forget to live a little. Think about what's important. Get out in nature, ground yourselves, hold your families tight. Because when it's all over, that's the only way you live on, man. Think about what's important.
Shawn Ryan is saying something here that resonates with a lot of people right now. He's tired. He's tired of the politics. He's tired of hyper-consumerism. He's tired of watching all these people waste their lives chasing things that don't matter. We can all feel that real weight in his voice and that deep love that he has for his family, and I respect that. But listen closely. His diagnosis is not the problem. His foundation is. He's standing on the same unstable ground that so many conservatives stand on today. They are desperate for meaning, but they're trying to build that meaning without Christ. And no matter how compelling the message sounds, a Christless foundation always fails. Always. You heard what he said. There's tons of distractions out there. Politics, corruption, shiny objects that we get bored of. Agreed. He said, don't forget to live a little. Get out there in nature, ground yourself, and hold your family tight. Absolutely. But then he says, because when it's all over, that's the only way you live on. You see, that may sound good to some. It may even sound sincere. But that's the fatal flaw of his story. Once Ryan strips away all that emotion, what he will be left with is a house of cards built on the same empty foundation as the culture that he's trying to escape. It's that man-made religion of love your family, have some fun, and, live a good life. But it's a false gospel. It may be conservative, sure, but it's not Christian. It's just a cleaner, quieter version of secularism. Here's the problem with this type of Christless conservatism. You see, it condemns the idols on the left while quietly bowing before new idols on the right. On the surface, it looks noble. Trade consumerism for nature. Trade political obsession for peace. Trade self-centeredness for family. But, and this is so crucial, if Christ is not at the center, it's still idol worship. Now, when I say Christ-centered, I'm not talking about adding a little bit of religion to your routine. I'm not talking about going to church, admiring Jesus, or saying that you agree with his teachings. A lot of people do that while their lives remain untouched. Having Christ at the center means something far deeper. It means you've laid down every claim to your own life and you rest everything on the finished work of Jesus. It means your confidence is no longer in your effort, your morality, or your discipline, but in his righteousness alone. It means that you belong to him, body and soul, in life and in death. Your story is not yours to direct. The pen is not in your hand. Christ is Lord, and you follow. This is not self-help or moral improvement. This is what the Bible calls regeneration. This is the Spirit making you alive, cutting through your blindness, and letting you see Jesus as he truly is. And when God speaks, you obey. Anything less is not Christianity. It's merely unbelief disguised as faith. And this is why the next part of his message, it sounds so comforting, but it cannot save you. He said, ground yourself. Okay. In what? Hold your family tight. That's beautiful, biblical even. But family can't carry you past the grave. When it's all over, that's the only way you live on. False. Not because the statement alone fails, but because the entire worldview he's standing on is built on sand. Family doesn't make you eternal. Memories can't conquer death. Your legacy will never justify you before a holy God. 10,000 years from now, no one will ever remember your name unless your life is hidden in Jesus Christ. Those who belong to Jesus are the ones whose names were written in the Lamb's book of life before the world began. Do you know him? Here's the truth Shawn Ryan can't reach because the worldview he's standing on won't support it. You don't live on through legacies or through memories. You live on because Jesus Christ walked out of his grave and he brings people into a life that never ends. You don't escape the emptiness of this world by stepping outside and feeling the dirt under your feet. You do it by being united to the one who made the heavens and the earth. You don't find meaning by stepping away from politics. You find it by bowing to the King who rules over every single nation. And look, Shawn is right about a lot of things here. He sees the sickness in our culture. He sees the emptiness that people are drowning in, and he knows the poison is very real. But here's the problem. He can see the disease. He just doesn't have the cure. Now, to be fair here, I'm not saying that Shawn has turned away from God. Only he and the Lord know his heart. But in this video, he talks about meaning, purpose, and legacy without ever grounding those things in Christ. God is completely absent from this discussion. And without Christ, everything collapses under the weight of eternity. The biblical story doesn't start with ground yourself. It starts with, in the beginning, God. And it doesn't end with live on through family or memories. It ends with behold, I make all things new. Legacies fade, families die, memories evaporate, but the glory of God remains. The only life that is not wasted is the life hidden in Jesus Christ. The only story that doesn't collapse is the story he is writing. And the only way to truly live on is to belong to the one who conquered death.